Hey, yo, back again, people. This is CC Sports Lab. Yeah, man, people, there with a serious thing. JFF intervenes once more, people. JFF intervenes. Hey, I want to tell people, when you come out to Jamaica football, it's like a never-ending soap opera, Yeah, man, it's a never-ending soap opera because here we have Lee and Chippy Bailey and the JFF once more at it. Because remember, the JFF done say they are going to suspend the selection of Leon Bailey, given his utterances on social media and the fact that he says he's taking a break from international football, right? So I can understand that, but then when you went on to suspend his selection, you're suspending it on the basis of him coming out and speaking out on the organization. Now that the new coach has come, right? There's a miscommunication because the new coach says they're starting from a clean slate. However, the JFF said yes, everybody has a clean slate. However, Leon Bailey has to write a letter making his intentions clear and known that he wants to come and represent Jamaica once more and he wants to be a part of the Reggae Boyz, right? Before the suspension can be lifted. But tell me now, people, if you suspend in any organization, suspension for me would normally be lifted by the organization. So suspension can be, for example, when they suspended the ball, right? Suspension could have been, we're suspending you for this window. And that's the vagueness. They left it vague because if you're going to suspend somebody, it is on you, the organization, to lift the suspension. While I can understand you wanting the player to communicate in a written form to not have any confusion upon selecting the player again for national duties, I also understand the part where you suspended the player, JFF. So you, JFF, went and suspended the player in terms of breaking curfew. Then the player said they were going to take a break from international football and made some other claims that when it comes down to travel, when it comes down to security, all of those things. So now you, the JFF, feeling that you have been disrespected or insulted or humiliated in the eyes of the public, went out and suspended the selection of the player. So if the player verbally came out and say, yo, I feel like I don't want to be on a break from international duties anymore, and I'm ready and available, fit and ready to come and represent my country, I think that would be enough to say, all right, here what happened. We're going to lift the suspension in terms of suspending this election because you're the organization, JFF. It cannot be down to the player to send you a letter. The player could come out verbally on social media and says, you know, some of the problems that I have not necessarily been rectified. However, I would like to move on from that and I'm going to be ready and available whenever my country calls for a selection when I'm fit, right? So I feel like if the player comes out and says that verbally, then there's no reason for the JFF to request a letter. Because in any organization, when you get suspended, I don't know of the person who have gotten suspended needing to write a letter to state that they still want to work at the organization or any of that terms of remedy. The suspension would be lifted. You would have probably gone through a disciplinary committee before, and then all of that would have been rectified. You'd have been suspended for, say, for example, 2 weeks. 2 weeks finish, you come back to work, right? So if they had said we are suspending him for two international windows are suspending the selection for 2 international windows. 2 international windows would have been completed and then it would have been available for a selection again. The fact that they left it vague means that they need to come out and clarify their position as to if they are suspending him indefinitely, because that's what they are doing. Or they are saying they are suspending his selection indefinitely, but it is not to me and the player to write a letter stating his intention to make himself available. The player could come out on his social media, come out on his live and say, yo, I am off my break and I'm ready and rearing to go to play international football for Jamaica once more. If the player came out on his social media and said that, I don't think there should be a formal letter. So I think it's the way in which things are being banded about it. I think this is the way in which JFF is going about this. And I think you have to give the coach all of the cards for him to play the game, right? The only cards that you can withhold are the jokers, because you don't necessarily need the jokers. But then again, in some poker game, you need jokers. So every single card in the deck, 52 cards, right, in the deck should be handed to the coach, and then the coach makes his decision going forward, because it is his job on the line. He's getting paid to do this. So I think this macho one-up-manism just needs to stop. This measuring of the genitalias need to stop, and they just need to come to a common ground. So you could say the player have the opportunity to go out there, because he did it in social media when he said he wanted to take a break. So he can go back on social media or put it out there that he is ready and available for selection. And then the JFF does what they do, or do what they do, and go and lift the suspension. Right? So please, people, just stop dealing with all of these things. Come to an amicable resolution, because right now Bailey is the only player that for Jamaica, representing Jamaica right now, that is going to be playing in the Champions League to this date, right? And he's one of our best players, even if he has not yet shown that form. But I feel like that form will come. We just need to get all of these semantics out of the way. So remember, people, remember to like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment of what you think about what's going on. JFF intervenes again, people.